Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today I wanted to talk about the solo carry versus team play dichotomy that League is kind of going through at the moment. Now, if you haven't been following the post, Meddler has recently touched on solo carry versus team carry aspects of League of Legends recently, and was kind of pointing out the fact that Riot felt as though the game had shifted too far in one direction. So as opposed to the game being capable of solo played and solo carried, it's a lot more so now all about team play and team coordination. And it doesn't really matter if you do well personally in lane, because you can't carry the game by yourself. You absolutely have to have your team with you. So, you know, that's sort of where we're at right now, and that's what he touched on. And Meddler was saying it's too much so in the favor of team play, and that Riot would be trying to change things back towards a more solo carry style of play. Now, on one hand, I really like this. I think that you need to have some sort of skill expression for individual players. Otherwise, they kind of feel like, why am I playing this game? Why does it matter how well I do? We have to do team play. And it's the sort of thing where certain classes of champions, like assassins, for example, or bruisers, or typically independent champions, lose a lot of their value because you have to have team play. These champions don't do anything in a team fight necessarily. So someone like Master Yi, for example, all Yi is really going to do is alpha in and hopefully kill somebody. Yi is a lot better when you have the capability to solo carry, and currently that's not really a thing. So shifting the pendulum back towards solo carry potential would be great, as it lets you play some more of these champions, and it lets you feel like you have more individual agency over the game. However, at the same time, League of Legends is a team game. The whole point of League is to be playing together with your team, to be making decisions that benefit your team, and trying to work with the other allies on your team. I don't know that I want the pendulum to ever shift so hard back to solo carry that it doesn't really matter what you decide. You're just kind of gonna play a solo lane champion and try to carry on your own time. That's where I don't want the game to ever go back to, because that's going to be a situation where you end up where it doesn't matter if you try to play for the team. Everyone is just going to ignore each other, play whatever champion they want, and all try to solo carry. And that leads to, I think, a lot more feels bad scenarios than when you're trying to play as a team. Because if everyone's trying to solo carry, well, that's impossible. And then everyone gets upset with each other for, well, why did you take the blue buff? Well, I took the blue buff because I have to carry, but no, you're doing badly. I'm the one who's going to carry this game. And it's kind of part of the solo queue mindset, I think. It reinforces that, where in solo queue, you never put any trust in your team. The only thing people in solo queue ever seem to do, it feels like, is think, I have to carry this game, when in some situations, that shouldn't be what you're looking to do. In some situations, you should be trying to say, hey, you know, I'm going to enable this Tristana, or enable this Sivir, or enable my mid laner to carry the game instead, because I know I'm not going to be able to do this. So I think at the end of the day, there needs to be a balance, and this is the really tricky part of it, is you have to get to a spot where you can solo carry a game. On certain champions, you can get far enough ahead, you can become strong enough, and you can be the one that puts on the carry pants and finishes off the game for his allies, even if one or two of your other lanes are doing poorly. At the same time, though, I would hate to see League shift entirely away from team play, because I think that that's kind of how the game is conceptualized, and I think that's when League is at its most healthiest. Yeah, it's not as exciting right now to watch professional play because it's all about team play. The era of Faker and Xpeke and Perks kind of putting on their carry pants and just, you know, absolutely annihilating games, we haven't had that in a long period of time. And, you know, they're playing wave clear mid laners, they're playing supportive champions, and that's kind of just the game in general right now, is everyone's playing something that's going to be supportive to the team, because you can't really solo carry. And that's disappointing, because you can't see these very mechanically gifted players show their stuff, because they're playing champions that just don't have as high of skill ceilings. So you want to make sure that at the very least is something that you keep around, because like I said, I would be really disappointed to see that, you know, I think you want to have some of that in the game, but at the same time, I don't think it can go too far, because then it's the situation where all you have to do if you're SKT is you camp mid lane and Faker carries the game. So now Riot have been pretty mum on what they're actually doing to help change the snowball. They've talked a little bit about adding some more of the global gold you get for First Blood and for Shutdown, instead having more of that go to the person who actually got the First Blood or Shutdown, so that way there's more incentive to try and get the early kills or to get the shutdown golds, as opposed to making it sort of a team objective. And they've also talked about increasing the value of cannon minions relative to the rest of the minion wave, so it becomes a lot more important to fight your opponent over cannons, and if you can deny them cannons, you're costing them a lot more gold than you are at the moment, and that's again something that helps solo carrying, because if you're up in the lane, you can deny your opponent a lot more gold than you could previously. So I think that these are changes that will help. I just hope they don't go too far back in the other direction. I think that they're not significant enough that we're going to be back in the era of top lane went 5-0, so the game's over. But I'm also hoping at the same time that they partially alleviate the symptoms of I can't do anything even if I go 3-0. I can't just win the game outright. But anyways, those are just kind of my thoughts on solo carry versus team play. I would love to see solo carry come back in some form. I just want it to be in a healthy place. Go ahead and let me know what you guys are thinking of this whole dichotomy down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on solo carry versus team play and what you're thinking of it. If you enjoy the video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you really enjoy the video, consider subscribing. Upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. And if you're looking for more Grab the Lantern content, you can check out my blog, linked down in the description. I upload an article each and every single day for your enjoyment. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.